Hello, everyone. We are live. Thank you for everyone who's joining us. And I want to introduce everyone on the panel. I can't introduce Sandy yet. She's having audio difficulty for some reason. So I'm going to introduce Ruben first. Hello, Ruben.
Hello there.
Thank you for joining us tonight. I'm good.
And
hello, Bruce.
Hi,
nice
Janet.
to see you again. And everybody knows on that side, American Woman, but she's, for some reason, her audio is not working. So, yeah, right there. But I want to say hi to the chat, everyone. And let's start at the beginning. And we have Al McNeil. Thank you for joining us. It says from Sicily. Wow, that's a long ways away. Oh, I'm getting a call now from my sister. Hold on for a second. I'm going to stop the camera.
May want to mute yourself too.
That's true.
How you doing, Mr. Rubin?
I'm good. It's my last day here in this house, and I'm on my way to something else. So I'm on my way to do some other things in my life.
I wish you the best on that.
Oh, she popped out.
She did.
Now you're muted.
I'm muted, or she's
she
muted?
is.
Said she couldn't hear any of us. So I told her to leave and then come right back again. And then I'd add her. So we'll see if that helps. But I want to say hello to Six Nation 31 Kings. Thank you for coming. And to say, hello to Ear. He said he's going to be listening. Thank you very much. And hi to Chuck. Hi, Chuck. Thank you for coming. Appreciate it. So, Bella, Triggerfish is here. Thank you for joining. Hello. Okay, I said hi to all the chat, and we're still waiting for Sandy to get here. So let's see if I can get her back in. Can you hear us?
I can hear you.
Yay, we can hear you.
Awesome.
Say hi to everybody.
Hello, everybody.
So Sandy's
Electricity's
here.
out at my house, so.
Oh, I'm sorry, hon.
That's okay.
Never fails. Never fails. But yeah, tonight we're going to be talking about all my relatives from all over the place. So first we want to start with the story from Las Vegas. So I sent everybody a link to that. Did you get to see it and read about it? Anyone?
I've been keeping up on most of it. I haven't taken a look at all the new stuff, but I heard that the falling object in a lot of the videos is a meteor.
Yeah, but when it first happened, what was funny is that the two police officers that went to the location said they saw something fiery falling from the sky, and it was on their cameras on their vehicle and on their suits, right? So when the call came in that something crashed in their backyard and they could see beings or something, they jumped at the chance to get to go because, I mean, who wouldn't? You know what I mean? So I just thought that whole thing was really cool, very interesting, and everyone was so excited. But I'm sure the people whose house it crashed at were freaking out, and who knows,
Yeah, who knows?
Well, sometimes it plays with your mind sometimes when you get that excited and scared, knowing something crashed in your backyard. And then when you look out, there's probably smoke. We don't know what they saw, but they probably thought they saw shadowy figures out there. And I bet it scared them really bad. I bet they didn't sleep a wink for 2 days.
I bet you they did see something. Maybe it was a meteor type craft that looked like a meteor, landed like a meteor.
Well, I think the news came out today. Did you say you saw something, Bruce?
Yeah, they were saying that there's a lot of things that are coalescing because everybody's stories are matching up, but they have gone back on Google Maps, like they can travel back in time like 2 years, and the red circle that they were seeing that they supposedly the UFO left in its wake.
Nations.
That's been around for about a year and a half. That evidence, the second kind encounter to prove that the UFO was there, that's really not good proof because that's been there before the UFO quote unquote landed or crashed, whatever you might say. So this seems like an account that everybody's on the right page for. You know, whenever like, okay, we're going to talk to the police, we're going to talk to these various people, but it really seems like the evidence for this is starting to dry up, and uh, I'm kind of worried just for the fact that the family seems very nice. They seem like really good, honest people. But when people start getting doubted about their veracity of the claims they make, they do make some social errors, and I'm worried about this situation that it will get blown out of proportion, and people in media will start making fun of them, so their neighbors will make fun of them for even having this happen in the first place, and very much so, it could have been an actual event. But
Mhm.
because, you know, usually whenever you see Loch Ness Monster or UFO, nobody else is there to enjoy it with you. It's a lonesome.
It's true.
Well, the
Yeah.
one thing is, I think I saw on Twitter a video, and it was like the lot like behind where their house was, and you could see the camera shaking and stuff right as it was crashing. So it didn't actually see it crash, but you could see the big ball of light, you know, the bright light and stuff. So it was very exciting. I mean, the whole thing, I can see why people were just whipped into a frenzy over it. And, you know, and I really feel for the people whose house it crashed in front of, because they're probably, that's why they didn't want to do interviews, because they were very embarrassed and stuff about it afterward. But there was supposedly a government agently vehicle, whatever, driving around a black SUV, and the guys had suits on and stuff. So apparently they got there pretty quick. So whatever it was being tracked. And you know, there's not much they can do about it, but I'm sure they wanted to see where it did crash in case it did hurt anyone. They could call emergency services or
Right.
something. But I just thought the whole thing was so exciting. What do you think about it, all of it, Ruben?
Well, unfortunately, you have to deal with culture and the way things are. The Hispanic culture does have a lot of, night, not aliens, but, shadowy figures and this and that. And the mind can play tricks. Again, if you're in a dark room and you just think of something, you'll start to see things as we put shapes together. And again, a correlation of what the news is playing, the cops were saying, it verifies these things, and we let our imaginations get
Yeah.
away with us. So, did they see something? Yes, they saw something, but was it real? I don't know. And where's the landing site, crash site? What's going on here? Just seeing things, and then having a circle that's been there for a while or whatever. Again, it just I just don't. Again, Bruce is correct. The fact that this is good people, but again, it's gonna get put on a portion, and it's just a distraction to other things.
Well,
Yeah.
remember when, wait just one second, Sandy. Remember when the crash happened supposedly in Roswell, New Mexico, and the government came in and they told everybody that it was a weather balloon
Yeah.
and they had pieces and parts or whatever. And people still believe that there was something, and that the government threw all this stuff in to be able to get the stuff and have like people thinking it was conspiracy theory, right? Well,
Yes,
what if it's the same thing with this?
that is true too. That is
Something
a
did crash.
possibility. That's a
Because if
possibility.
it was a meteor, wouldn't there be something, some kind of debris? I mean, even the Tuskegee, is it Tuskegee?
Tuskegee
yeah.
event.
Yeah. The event that happened, and it was a water ice comet, right? Chunk.
Yes.
And when it hit, it exploded.
Right.
Even though it was ice and it was pretty much vaporized, right? But it was still a huge impact crater, tons of damage with trees and everything. And this, it is not a lot of damage. You know what I
Right.
mean? So if it was a meteor, there would be, even if it was small, the size of a basketball. And from the picture, you could definitely tell it was bigger than a basketball, because the light of it shrinking through the ground to the ground, it was big. I mean, it was a big impact to cause that camera and all that to vibrate, the impact and everything. It would have left something. But to see what I saw in the pictures today, just a little circle, and it was, I don't know. I don't know. I'm believing that maybe somebody's trying to cover something up. What do you think, Sandy?
Yeah, I think someone's trying to cover something up, or it could be a Boeing bomb, like on Joe Dirt. See the peanut?
Oh, okay, whatever.
But no, I do. I think that they're covering up a lot of stuff. So if something did land, there would be a debris field and a big long trail, but there wasn't.
Mhm. There's some. I just definitely think something's fishy with it. What do you guys think? You two guys.
From that side, yes, I would say there is something fishy, but that's what I'm saying. From their perspective, can play tricks on them, but is there something? Of course, we saw something on the video, on the multiple cameras. The ring cameras were out there, so something did happen. And the fact that there is no evidence means that somebody did something to cover it up, and that adds more. Yeah, it makes more issues with everything.
Mhm. Okay, and now there was another thing I saw, and it was something to do with Antarctica, and it looks like Six Nations put something up about it.
Yep.
About the whistleblower coming out. What do you guys think about all that information? Does anybody know a lot about that?
Well, so go ahead.
Go ahead, Ruben.
Yeah,
I saw a lot about that, and again, this goes to the idea back to Bob Lazar when he was talking about, and it corroborates everything that he had mentioned back in the, I think it was 80s, and what things that he's seen. So it basically adds credence again. The history that, again, I basically say that when we launched, or when we first cracked the atom, the first bombs, we were launching it, we were being monitored. And that's when the big UFO craze started. It was correlation to events that we've done. Now, people can say different things. Are these things that are inside the Earth? Are they close by? What's going on here? Who knows? But again, there are some correlations to. It's twofold. What we're doing nuclear wise, and then the secrets, the state secrets, keeping it under wraps, where how Roswell was under wraps, how all these other Project Blue Book and how everything was under wraps, the Air Force getting involved. But it's again a combination of misinformation, disinformation, real events, and things that are some things that boggle the mind. Just like, the people that can say, hey, I saw this, and then they came from this area. Again, there's a combination of reality and fantasy, and, the government isn't, the government tells the truth all the time, right?
Most of the time, I don't think they tell the truth at all.
That's the
honestly
point.
It's all misdirection. I feel 90% is misdirection from the government.
Right. And that's what I'm saying. So it basically, but again, throughout our history, written, art, even we have art from the 15th century that has UFOs in it. You see this, and then you have Google like TechP, and you have different things, the astronauts that you saw in the Incas and all that stuff. So something's going on, but again, it's just a combination of not being seen or whatever, but who knows?
Well, I mean, we can look at our society and we can say there's things that the official line doesn't quite cover. But then when you look at history, it looks like this planet was engineered. It looks like we are a petri dish. We are an experiment. This planet was engineered. It looks like.
Sorry.
We have a lot of evidence of that. We have a lot of evidence that there's things here manipulating things behind the scenes. We have stupid political games that happen whenever you start asking certain questions. If people will play this shut down this person game, and in information war or in intelligence, whenever you start suffering and when you start really like getting a lot of flack from people, we call that you're probably above the target. Because if you're not above the target, you're not on anybody's list. But now that you're suffering, or now that you're being ridiculed, now that you've said something that's made people kind of upset, like we're talking about Bob Lazar, and that right there is an audio keyword. They'll be watching this stream. They'll be seeing what the hell is going on, what's being said, what's any secret information, any classified information. That's just one of those things. Expect it. And he did a marvelous job in 88 and 89, revealing so many things about the entire system that we have at play today. Mm-hmm. And unfortunately, we haven't progressed much beyond Bob Lazar's disclosure. Stephen Greer's out there trying to do a disclosure project. I'd like to see that get more steam behind it, but I don't think it's going to happen because he is revealing ways that one can actually contact these interdimensional beings or whatever they might be. And I know that sounds very weird, but Stephen Greer's been getting his name dragged through the mud quite a bit. He's also
Yeah.
on Gaia TV quite a bit. And if you listen to the things he says and what they're trying to do, since the government's not providing clear answers, he's trying to take a citizens first approach and try to contact whatever this is, whatever races there are that are playing with this planet. And if you look at what he's doing, he's actually trying to focus on getting a connection established between us and whoever they are. I don't know about Antarctica with the whistleblower claim. I need to be briefed on that. I have no idea what's being said about Antarctica from 2 days ago. I could tell you about Project, what was that? Project High Jump, where Admiral Byrd took a fleet of Navy ships down to Antarctica, and supposedly they had losses. They had lost planes. They had a lot of things because they were under attack from these things that were not letting them go and do whatever naval exercise they were trying to do. I know that.
But that I remember what you just said reminded me of a story about the missile silos. Remember that when somebody was about to they were about to launch the missiles in the silos, and something happened, and it caused all the lights and stuff to go on and off, and then everything shut down. Like somebody interfered, and they were saying, "Oh, it had to be another country," but the other countries were saying they didn't do it or whatever. And theirs supposedly didn't work either. You know, it was like a divine intervention through aliens or something. I don't remember where I saw that. It was on the news. It was on one of these apps, or it was one of the videos that someone had posted in a documentary. I just remember reading about that, and I thought that was very intriguing, because that was the person that was being interviewed was saying that was the reason why they came to believe in aliens from somewhere else,
Right.
trying to stop us from destroying ourselves, basically. And I thought that was really interesting because it had to do with missile silos or whatever. The one that I remember watching, I just wish I could remember which one it was, because I didn't even think about looking that up until you were talking about it. But I thought that was interesting. But I thought this was interesting. It says, 6 Nation 31 King says, my upbringing is rebuke first and question the info, whether you're a person of faith, science, etc. Never take anything just at face value, especially on TV or online. Well, I don't take anything at face value. I mean, anything. I don't trust anybody. I know it's terrible, but I basically, I guess age does cause wisdom, because each year I've gotten older and older. The least I trust people. I mean, it's because so many people are out for themselves, and they'll say and do anything to get what they want, basically. So it's just hard for me. But after I trust someone, I mean, pretty much I become like a a puppy to listen to everything they say and absorb the information as much as I can. And I still research and stuff, but I'm more likely to like the whole thing with Antarctica. Now, I still don't believe in flat Earth, even though I've got a lot of friends that really are leaning towards more and more that we might live in a dome and all this different stuff. I still don't. I don't see enough evidence or anything that they can show me about that. But they're still my friend, and I still let them, believe what they want, as long as they don't hound me about me not believing in it. But we should have the right to be able to do that, to believe in what we want. I mean, Sandy and I, we don't believe in a lot of the same things, even though we grew up in the same house and under the same parents. But everyone I know has had some type of alien encounter of some sort in their lifetime. I bet each of us could each give a story of something we've seen. That may not make us totally believe in aliens, but we know that there's something. We believe that something happened that's unexplained. And I think all of us have been through something like that.
I know that. I believe in it. I believe that there's life out there. I know
go ahead.
I'm done.
I was just going to say that my father's got drawings and all sorts of maps he's made where he's seen things in the Hudson River Valley before they moved down to Illinois. And then just about 2 years ago, him and Mom saw a black triangular shaped craft, and he has a blurry photo of it, but it's like about a mile or 2 miles away. No more. No more, Mr. Phone. I'm done with you. You make too much noise when I'm trying to do stuff. Okay. But
What is it? Is it a puppy?
no, I wish it was a puppy. The phone.
Oh,
Oh,
No, my phone notifications. But no, my dad's got photos, and they're blurry, but my mom was with them when they saw it, and my dad couldn't get the phone out quick. And then whenever you're trying to rush and get the camera app open, that's when my dad fumbled the ball.
mm-hmm.
And it was really far away. He said by the time they actually got a chance to photograph it and get it zoomed in, he's like, well, it's a blurry photo of, it looks like a rectangle, but when it was over us, it was actually kind of manta shaped or had a triangular shape to it. But you know, I believe that this stuff is real, and I've seen my own, you know, blips or lights in the sky. I've seen too many things where I've been driving through the mountains at night out in New Mexico, and you realize like that's not a plane, and then it goes behind a mountain or it disappears and you don't see it again. And there's been too many instances where I've seen, like, probably about 7 or 8 instances where I've seen the lights in the sky, and I'm thankful that I've seen those. But at the same time, there's part of me that thinks, like, you know, not all these guys are going to be friendly to us.
Mm-mm. Yep, you're right. I agree, because we have to remember, by the time anything, whatever it is, comes here, their technology is already way advanced compared to us, because we haven't been able to go to another planet. We don't have that technology yet. So if they can make it to our planet, they're way, way ahead of us. And if they'd wanted to get rid of us, they could have already done it. So to me, if they come here and we find them spying on us or whatever, at least we know they're not here to just annihilate us, because they would have already done it. You know, at least that in the back of my head, at least that's the way I feel. And when I was a little girl, we lived in the Philippines, I remember my experience, and I'll never forget. I was staying the night with one of my friends. I think I was 9 at this time. And I remember we lived in a big cul-de-sac, and we saw a bunch of lights, all different colors, like real pretty rainbow lights. And we thought it was really cool, like an ambulance or something. But when we looked out the window, we couldn't see where the lights were coming from, because it was so blinding. We couldn't look in any one direction. So we just backed up. And I remember we heard the dog start to bark, and they had a little dachshund, and it ran out of the room and ran down the stairs. And her parents were not there. Her older brother was there, so we thought maybe they were playing a trick or whatever. But then the dog was growling and stuff, so we ran over to the bed and got on the bed in the corner together and covered ourselves up with a sheet, and we were just looking out, you know, the hole in the sheet. And the dog came back up in the room, was barking and barking and barking, and we saw lights, like was outside in the doorway. It was so weird. And I could see an out shadow of a person. Now, it didn't look like all deformed or anything like that, but it was a black in the center and had bright lights all around the outside of it. And they just stood there in the doorway. And then the dog kept snarling and barking and snarling and barking. And then it turned around and left and started walking back down the stairs. And we see the lights going down the stairs. And then it went out, and the door was wide open. The dog went running out. It was barking, and we were screaming and crying. And I went and got the phone. And I called my mom, which was like, 4 houses away. And she just said we just had a nightmare or whatever, And so we got calmed down. We just watched TV and ate, and then we went to bed. But I'll never forget it. I still remember like it was yesterday. And I know it was something. I don't know what it was, but I know it wasn't. I just don't think it was people, from here. No. So I don't know, but they didn't touch us or anything, and they didn't take the dog. So either we didn't have what they wanted, or they were just curious. I mean, I don't know. I just have no idea, but I'll never forget it.
Yeah. I mean, you remember that movie Prometheus? Okay, where those big giant beings seeded the water. Okay,
Yes.
and then you remember that movie Mars with Val Kilmer?
Hmm.
Okay, that is how I think when people left Mars because something happened and they came to Earth and seeded the population. Okay, and here we are, and they're kind of just waiting for us to come into our own knowledge to get to another planet again, to
Yeah.
become part of that elite race. And I think there's a reason why Trump started the force, whatever that space
Space
force.
Force. Yeah.
I think there's a reason why they know something that we don't know. And that last video I saw where that saucer flies by that plane, that not a it was a small plane. It wasn't a big.
Cessna.
Yeah, it was just too. It was just perfect. Okay, and then you got the Pentagon are releasing things now. All of our pilots and stuff have found stuff out there, and little tic tac things just doing maneuvers that you just can't believe. There is some intelligent life out there, and we're going to see it in our lifetime, Janet, Ruben, Bruce, all of us.
I wanted to say
Everybody out
something
there.
that you brought up about Space Force.
Yeah.
Before, I didn't really think about it when he first started saying Space Force. Everybody was saying, "Oh, it's for us, a new step of technology past NASA or whatever with satellites and all this different stuff." But the more I thought about it, and then this whole thing with the Restrict Act came up, I started thinking maybe Space Force means inner space, the internet, the web. Maybe that's the kind of force it is to control the bad guys from, espionage and all the different things. I don't know. In the back of my mind, I was thinking that maybe that was part of this whole thing, even though, because I never did get to research it or really find anyone that knew that much about what was going on in it. And I just thought that maybe that was part of it. What do you think, Bruce? You think that has anything to do with the interwebs or the dark web or any of that? Is he there?
I think Space Force is going to be a situation that's going to cover a lot of places the current military didn't, because the Air Force does have a cyber defense division.
Mm-hmm.
They also have thousands of people in private, or not private, but contractor employed for the government that act as third parties, and they do their own policing on the web and they do their own thing. But I honestly feel that the Space Force we have, and maybe I'm wrong, you go ahead, tell me I'm wrong right now, but I believe the Space Force we have is a soft disclosure start, because if the Planet Serpo rumors are true, and Planet Serpo was a project that started in like 1958, we sent 12 scientists to another planet, and we got them back in 78, and supposedly the entire story for that was the basis of the movie for Close Encounters of the Third Kind.
Oh,
I
yeah.
didn't know that.
That's right.
That's
If that is the situation, that we've been in contact with them and the Serpo papers are real, and indeed they were talking to President Reagan about all the various entities that were visiting the planet and doing this and that here. If all that's real, then the Space Force would be a very nice way for them to introduce what we've been doing for the past 3 or 4 decades. Because we do have the NASA images of a very long cylindrical object in space. And William Tompkins is a noted UFO researcher. I believe he's deceased now, but he was one that was designing spacecraft for the U.S. military. And they were basically just taking submarines in space, using submarines and whatever drives they were using to maneuver around. But William Tompkins is a guy that was doing that. And he'd been on the radio a lot with Art Bell and George Norrie. So he was interesting to listen to. But supposedly we have a Space Force that's been up there for a decade with these ships. And they have been in service for a long time. If you've heard of Solar Warden, then you know what I'm talking about. And if you don't know what Solar Warden is, just do a casual search on Google, and you should be able. There is a game called that, so that'll probably be littered quite a bit towards the top. But there's Solar Warden, and it's supposedly a fleet of intergalactic or interplanetary ships that we have. So if all this shit's true, that the disclosure guy came out with, saying we have 12 or 13 of these ships that we've confiscated, and they're extraterrestrial pilots, and there's a gateway down in Antarctica, which would prove Admiral Byrd, that would prove Admiral Byrd's case correct that he had in his diary, discussing how Antarctica is not all ice and snow. There is a hole in the ground there where you go into an underground vault filled with greenery and waterfalls and all sorts of things. But you have all these things that have been out and mentioned on Usenets for years, all these various stories, and if nothing else, Space Force offers the government a way to come clean. If they wish to come clean, which I do not think so. But it's a way for them to do that.
Plus, I think our country, I don't know about, maybe a few others might be, they're starting to, back during the Cold War, they didn't want anyone to know anything that they were doing. Nobody did. Everybody was hiding everything. Now, I still believe people are hiding things, different things, but I'm thinking they're leaning more and more towards wanting to be the first one. You know what I mean? We're proving we're the first one to have a test tube baby. We're the first ones going to be able to have a calf born without using a cow's uterus. We're the first ones to come up with this vaccine. We're the first ones to come up with this patent. You know what I mean? I'm thinking we're starting to see it leaning more and more towards that way with the governments. So something like Space Force could be possible if they were to be able to show something. Now, they're not going to share anything, I don't believe, unless they know that there's no way someone else is going to get it from them. You know what I mean? They'll show it and air it, just like the submarines, like in the Navy, they have people with weapons, with towers to keep people from looking at the propellers and different things on certain submarines, because that's their secret of why they're able to go underwater and go certain places without being heard on sonar and things like that. So there are still technical things, but people can still see the submarine, you see? So they're showing it, but they're not showing it all. They're letting you know that we have this technology, but you don't know how we do it. Just like some of the things that I've been seeing coming out of the stealth technology with using mirrors and things like that on vehicles, to where it's almost completely invisible when it's out in the desert or on the skyline, or even a ship on the ocean. You can't even see it with the naked eye. Now, a sonar would probably be able to see it, or a satellite, but another ship could be there and not even see it because of the way that they've made it to where it looks like it's just waves and the distance. I don't know how they're doing it, but I've seen a few things in documentaries, and if a documentary can talk about it, then that means it's way advanced compared to what little old me is going to be able to watch. So I think that our military is like leaps and bounds. Even Russia and maybe China, who knows, are so far advanced, we probably wouldn't even fathom some of the things that they'd be able to come out with, but it's still secret. But sooner or later, it is going to come out. I remember my dad, like, I think I've said this before, my dad was showing me, I had one of those, it was called a TomTom or something. These came out years ago for directions and stuff in your car, a satellite, right? It was called a TomTom. I think that's what I remember it was called. And my dad was like, we had this back when we were doing the Korean War. And I was like, what? And he said, yeah, we had these little things, and they could pinpoint right where we were in the jungle, things like that. He was telling me about it. He goes, but we, it wasn't for civilians. It was only for the military. He talked about that kind of stuff. So they had all kinds of really cool shit way back then that is just now coming out for us little peons to use in our car and on our phones, but they had it already. So we're going to find out, like Velcro and lots of different things that are coming out. The military had it way before we ever did. So there's no telling what kind of really cool ships or boats or motorcycles and vehicles that we could probably have driving around right now if we were able to get the technology from the military, from the different countries, around the world. I think that would be really cool. But there was another alien thing I sent to you guys. I'm trying to remember which one it was. Back to the back private chat. I was trying to see which one it was.
Full list of aliens this year?
Yeah, there was 3 different ones I sent in Discord. And then there was another one I sent. The other one, I sent an extra one on here about the whole display of all the lists of different vehicles and stuff. But then I printed out this, and it's about the Unidentified Flying Objects Project Blue Book when it first started. I didn't realize how old it was. It says it started in 1947.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I was just really surprised about it. And it said that this is what this says. It says the project headquartered at Wright-Patterson Air Force Base in Ohio, and it was terminated in December 17th, 1969. Of a total of 12,618 sightings reported to Project Blue Book, 701 remain unidentified. So just think about that. 701 unidentified somethings that our own government couldn't figure out what it was. Right. And that was back in what was it again? I said 1969.
Mm-hmm.
So, that's why I try not to make fun of people when they talk about believing in something or knowing they saw something. We have little stories around here. It's called the Dover Lights, and it's everybody swears they see it. They've seen it. Have you seen it, Mindy or Sandy? Do you know about it?
Yes, I do.
Well, tell us a little bit about that, because that's interesting.
When we were 4-wheeling, we went up there because we thought, hey, it'd be cool to see the lights and stuff. And there are lights there, and it's hard to explain because they hover right above the tree line. And we're up above where, in the mountains, and where their lights are at is a high elevation. But when you're above that, you can see the lights, and you don't see where they're coming from. They just appear. And you think, oh, it's got to be fireflies. It's got to be something. But nope. I had no idea where they came from.
Well, how big were they?
Well, from where I was standing, it looked, and I was up high, so I would say it was like a mile up or something, maybe that high up. And they looked as big as a beach ball to me at that high. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know.
Could be ball lightning there, something like that.
It could be, and I've seen a story where some ball lightning was going across the road. Have you seen that video and stuff? So I was thinking maybe it could be that, but to show up all the time, that's kind of odd to be lightning.
Is there a phenomenon that you know of, Ruben or Bruce, that a certain area or location on the earth would have tons and different over and over again of ball lightning? Something like that?
Skywalker Ranch.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
Not Skywalker Ranch, Skinwalker.
Yeah, Skinwalker Ranch. It's right. I've heard about that. It's something about just like what was it? The Devil's Triangle. It's in the ocean, but similar phenomenon happens all the time in that one location on the earth. I wonder why. Is it? You think it's magnets?
Electromagnetism, basically. Electromagnetic spectrum is large. The electromagnetic spectrum covers simple radio waves all the way to gamma rays. It just covers everything. Even visible light is on the electromagnetic spectrum. So we only see certain frequencies. But if you were to put all the frequencies out on a scale, we only see what it's it's just one line. It's very, very thin. The nanometers we see in all spectral light. So infrared's lower, ultraviolet, gamma rays can kill you, X-rays and all that stuff. So again, we don't know. And then again, but we do know about the ley lines that we have. We do know about the activities in certain areas, like in Sedona, or in Roswell, or places around that we see. There was lights that came up over Phoenix, Vegas, close to nuclear sites. No, as one thing, or also religious sites. The Dome on the Rock, the light that happened there a few years ago, was videotaped by multiple people. and then ball lightning all over the place. You see that, but again, we say ball lightning, but who knows what it is?
Yeah, you're right. I don't know if anybody's been able to capture it in a laboratory or whatever and test it or whatever to find out what it is. I mean, have they been able to reproduce ball lightning in a laboratory that you know of?
I don't know. No one can get into CERN. Who knows what they've got?
Well, you can get in. It's just, for tours and stuff like that. But yeah, that's a pretty
Really?
cool, interesting
You
place.
can. I didn't
Yeah,
know
I've
that.
heard people that have done it for documentaries and stuff. They've been able to go in and watch them do the deal. This last thing that they did when they were doing the God particle thing, there was a bunch of reporters and stuff there.
Yeah, but I wonder what they let them see and what they didn't let them see. That's the thing.
You can't get in there, because it's underground and it's like going at a supersonic, speed of light almost. Well, almost the speed of light, I think. But that's pretty, it's a pretty big area underground.
Well, you know who owns I know who created the first website, but what's the first person was associated with CERN. So CERN and the first website is together. So
Who owned it?
it was God, it was something. His name is something William Bree or something like that. But I'm going to have to look it up in Google. But but the very first website was associated with CERN. Because they have advanced computers there. I would love to get a hold of that stuff.
Yeah, I bet you would. I bet you'd have a grand old time in there digging around.
And the thing is that they use they implement a version of Linux. Alma Linux is what they use at CERN. So I know what the system they use. And so I basically it's a candy store. I would love to do that. Maybe I'll start doing that. I'll uncover everything. I'll expose it all.
Yeah, Six Nation 31 King says, where there's a large deposits of granite or quartz, it has geomagnetic abnormalities and weird sightings. Wow. I didn't think about that because here in Arkansas, there's a place in Murfreesboro and it's an old diamond mine where you can go and dig up your own diamonds. And people are still digging up diamonds. And a lot of people say they see weird things sometimes, like looks like people walking when there's nobody there, weird, phenomenon, things like that. And some people say there's people that died during different wars or, different things. I don't know. But, it seems like lots of historical old places have lots of stories like that, of phenomena of some weird sort. But yeah, the Skinwalker Ranch stuff, man, that's just so interesting. I just love that show on TV.
That is pretty cool. Now, you know what? I was talking to somebody today about Antarctica or that place where they found like geonodes or whatever particles in the snow, ice, that can generate energy and things. I think that's pretty wicked because I've seen, I don't know if anybody else in here, but I follow Secure Team 10.
I'm familiar with them. I know who Tyler is.
I like Tyler's stuff that he puts out there. It's pretty amazing. But he talks about that. He says that he finds satellite images of things that were buried in the ice, and the ice is kind of melted away, and you can see the something that just looks really strange, and it shouldn't be there. You know what I'm saying? So it's just really, I would love, like Ruben, I would like to just take off and just go and explore and find out this shit.
Yeah, that's maybe something I have to do now because now that I'm leaving this place and going somewhere else, maybe I'll just go on and start looking around, search these places.
Yeah, that'd be just really cool.
Yeah, and again, there are a lot of places. Again, it was in Ancient Apocalypse or Alien Apocalypse, whatever the show that was the Randall was it Graham Hancock did. All over the United States, there are places that are undiscovered still, and things that are just mysterious. It's just like remnants. So just to go and investigate and see, because again, a lot of interesting geological activity, and the fact that quartz itself uses and watches because it does have a frequency. Quartz itself just continues to just make noise, or just it vibrates at a certain frequency.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, piezoelectrics are very important. Like your simple lighter you click, it's a piezoelectric. It's all over the place. Things like that. things we haven't even things we take for granted and then we can utilize, haven't been done, and we're using.
Yeah.
I think that we're, how would you say it? We're like monkeys trying to figure out how to play the piano, and we can't figure it out. And again, we haven't done it, and that's why we're doing all this technology, trying to reverse engineer it, and we're trying to do things, and it affects people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I remember watching a couple of documentaries. It was a couple of years ago. I think it was after we had all those that huge, massive amount of tornadoes and stuff that just went through and devastated a lot of the South. And I started watching documentaries about the tornadoes and the rescue efforts and things like that. And then I saw this documentary, and it had it was all about lightning, different kinds of lightning and stuff. And what was so cool was, now that so many people have their phones and they have, their cameras on their properties, and they have travel cams on their cars, and they also have, these cameras out for deer stands and stuff, which is just, it's amazing. We're getting more and more footage, and they just got all kinds of footage and put it together. But what was so neat was this one, it was this beautiful sky, and it was black, and you could see the lightning in all different forms coming out of the sky, going down like that. But then you could see lightning that was actually coming up from the ground.
Yeah.
I never realized that we could have lightning that comes from the ground up. So a lot of people who have been struck by lightning that said that there was not a cloud in the sky. Okay. So that would make sense to me, that for some reason, there was a, heat or cold or something in the atmosphere, even though there wasn't any clouds, that caused a bolt of lightning to shoot up from the ground and go right through a person.
Well, most lightning does have that binary where it has the going down and coming up at the same time. That's where it hits.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why you have lightning rods that act as a conductor that can generate the energy to direct it. But again, most of the times in the field, again, that's why I say don't go be under a tree, because a tree not only attracts it, but it'll generate the electric field, so that it will cause the lightning to strike it, because it's conductive as part of the atmosphere and the universe we have on Earth.
Yeah, I remember my grandpa told me one time when he was a little boy that he remembered that there was a whole bunch of tornadoes. This was in Oklahoma, and that he remembered his parents telling everyone to get in the cellar, and it was, all the cousins and everybody's all running. They're all trying to get their stuff and their dogs or whatever and get in the storm cellar. And that he said he don't know why, but he just stopped, and he was staring out the pasture, and there was like 4 or 5 really big oak trees out there. And he said, and all the cows seemed to have run towards these trees. Okay. And he's watching all these cows, and the horses are just running with their tails up, just running all around. They weren't under the trees, but that he saw a huge bolt of lightning that came down, and he looked like, he said, it hit one of the trees, but he couldn't really tell which tree. But then he just saw all the cows just all fall. And that they were all just, it killed like 20 something cows. It was just laying within the 4 or 5 trees on the ground. We don't realize the massiveness, the power.
Oh yeah, the power
of electricity that comes from lightning. I mean,
right.
You hear it, you see it. It's just something you just don't think about. You just don't really. It doesn't click in your head. We get mad. Oh, my power went out. We got, the pole got struck by lightning. Everybody's bitching and moaning about it. But the awesome power behind it that comes right from nature. I mean, it's just like the hand of God, it's just shooting out at you. But he says he'll never forget it. What it looked like to just see him just all topple over. Just all at the same time, everyone just dropped, and then they grabbed him and went into the storm shelter. And then when they came out, they had all a whole bunch of dead cows. It was sad, but that he told them all that they all got struck by lightning. So, but the awesome power of that. I mean, that's a cow is huge. They weigh hundreds and hundreds of pounds, and to see that many just fall over instantaneously because their hearts just stop or whatever. I don't know what for sure happens to you when you get struck by lightning, but that was frightening just to think about it. I think the power of it behind it. But but you think about all these could be ships out there from different planets, and what types of energy they could harness from their own planets or their cosmos around them. Their small galaxy or their universe around where they're at. They might not even use the sun. They might have some other type of, way of creating energy compared to what we do. I'm interested. I don't think I'll be alive whenever we are able to go to other planets and things like that. It would be really cool too, since I grew up loving Star Trek and dreaming about one day maybe being able to be in the Federation or whatever, type of thing. But that would just be a dream come true to get to do something like that.
Or wear those uniforms.
Yeah. Oh, I wouldn't mind doing it. But the thing is that I just think I really believe in it. People make fun of me, but I do believe in life on other planets. I do believe there's something out there. I don't think they look just like us, because there's no way they could look just like us, because they evolve. They'd have to evolve the same way we have, because it's a spark of life for whatever reason. And it evolves depending on your environment and which creatures evolve to become the mightiest creature to kill out all the ones that get in their way. You know what I mean? Like we did, basically.
Right.
That's why we're number one, because we could think, we outthink the animals, we outfish them, we outhunt them, we outdo everything. And that's why we're the top predator. So whatever other planets are out there, they would have top predators. Who knows what they're going to be like. I would think they'd be more reptilian or whatever, because of so many all of our creatures that we've had on our planet that were reptilian.
Yes.
I would think they'd be more insectoid.
You're right. They could be that too. I mean, those are the two most plentiful, and birds. Birds are plentiful, but birds did come from reptiles.
Yes.
So yeah, it would either be reptiles or insects. I think. I really do. I really believe that.
Well, cockroaches for sure.
They can survive a nuclear winter.
That's
Cockroaches can. So is anything else anybody want to bring up about aliens? Interesting that they heard about?
Take me to your later.
Do what?
We kind of covered the alien news for the moment.
Yeah, I haven't heard anything else. I mean, I thought after all the balloons that were released and things like that, that maybe, I don't know, the power grid would go out and they would say it was Russia, or they would say it was an alien invasion, or, who knows what. I'm still waiting for something like that to happen, because, some pulse that the government will use to take out all the automobiles, except the old ones, and then they can blame it all on Russia. Russia's invading us, or
who knows what's going to happen. It still can happen.
Yeah, so I mean, I still believe it's going to happen, but I don't know. I really think that I don't know. That's why I really do believe that Space Force has more to do with, as of today, with cybersecurity, that type of thing, than it does actual, outer space stuff, because I don't see or hear anything. I mean, do you guys hear anything about supposedly anything Space Force is doing to improve our national security or whatever through, the use of military, ships or satellites or anything? I hear more about Tesla stuff than I do about our own government doing anything.
That brings up something. Do you think that Elon will be the first one to be meeting a creature from another planet, or landing somewhere that we never have and seeing something you don't?
No, I don't think he'd put himself in that. He has employees for that.
Well, I mean, I'm not saying himself. I'm just saying.
Okay, well, you said
I said, well,
Elon.
I meant Elon, his space stuff that he does. Do you think that, and I've also seen videos where, and there's supposedly live feeds from these ships and stuff that are in our solar system, okay, that are traveling, and there's glitches and stuff, and you see that they faked it, okay, these feeds that you get from these astronauts in space, okay? You've seen those videos, haven't you?
Yeah, but they could be faked.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like they're there's a glitch or something that comes up. I'll have to find one. Anyway, I've seen those, and I think that's kind of funny. And then you hear them talking about, well, we never got past the radiation belt. So how do they know that we actually been on the moon?
Well, how do they know there's a radiation belt there?
Well, they said it. You know, to get to the moon, that's why people say the moon landing was fake, because they can't get past that one little
The Van
part.
Allen belt.
Yes, that one thing that
That
they
was
just can't
Kuiper
get
belt. My
past.
bad.
We've had satellites have made it past it because they've gone way past Pluto and sent stuff
Well, I
back.
don't know. That's just what they're saying. So,
Well, I'm just saying, I do believe that we've had the technology to go, and we watched.
in the 60s, you think
we
we
watched
did? Hmm.
the comet Shoemaker Levy break apart and crash into Saturn, or I mean to Jupiter.
Yeah.
Okay, we saw that because it was on a satellite. It was sending stuff back, so it definitely had made past the radiation belt. So what I'm saying is, everybody can say anything they want, but science over time proves facts. Okay, it becomes facts because that's what science is pushing the limits, trying to find out what's the next step. And we wouldn't have any of the stuff that we have now. I mean, showing how a certain ship can go in outer space. You shoot. The hardest part is getting away from the planet's gravity, which is why you have to have such powerful rockets. But once you're in outer space, you could just use a solar shield that absorbs solar energy to push it along. But you still have to be able to guide it and steer it somehow through, a human doing it, or through controls from a satellite in outer space or wherever. But the thing is, we do have technology to do these things. And the only reason we have that is because we have tons and tons of people that are interested in learning enough about it to be able to come up with new things to be able to advance us even farther when it comes to going out there. And they spend their whole life working on it, studying different things about the cosmos and how to build ships, or how to build radio waves and stuff that can go through gamma rays and all the different things, and still be able to understand it, put it back together when it bounces off this, that, and the other. And we put all the information together and be able to read it and make something out of it. I just love it. I could sit and watch that kind of stuff all day long, every day, because it's so interesting that somebody's that smart. The fact that somebody was able to put a signal in the air and have it come back and go to your TV and put it back together and make a picture that you and I could see and see the people interact, to me, that's genius. I mean,
That's black magic to me. I get it.
Do what?
That's black magic to me.
I know, but
I get it.
It's amazing. I mean, it's amazing. And I'm not that person, but I applaud all the people that
who did that first?
that
Willy
stuff.
Wonka. Isn't that cool?
But isn't it awesome to think about it? The little kid that watched Star Trek and thought about how the thing creates the meals. They put ingredients in there, and all of a sudden it would makes a whole steak dinner and a glass of wine or whatever. Somebody's going to come up with that stuff, and they're doing it now with 3D printer. You can put certain stuff in there and print out food that actually tastes a certain way, with taste, with smell and taste in it. I mean, it's amazing what we've been able to even come up with technology. Driving a vehicle, I think it was Ruben, you were talking about this the other day, driving a vehicle with using water. Hydrogen vehicles. It's possible. If you can keep the gas inside the machine long enough to pump the engine where it doesn't leak out.
Are you talking about cold fusion?
Well, I'm talking about hydrogen, making an engine that turns hydrogen into energy.
Yeah.
So, things like that. I mean, it's to me, the person that can sit down and write down all that stuff, it's just, I can't even imagine it.
I saw a car at one of these car shows. You know how you watch these videos where people have these cars and these great ideas and the new invention of these cars? This person had a car that was running Okay, and they lifted up the thing, and inside the engine was a big circle turbine thing, and inside that turbine was huge magnets that were doing that actual against attraction, whatever, and they were just spinning around inside there. And he was talking about all the energy he created and stuff. But then I never heard of him again or seen anything from him again, like he got killed or something. I don't know, but it was like that was really cool to use magnets like that.
Yeah, that's
Well,
one thing.
Somebody in here said, define what creates gravity. I'll wait. I don't know what creates gravity. The spinning Earth spins so fast that it holds everything.
The attraction between the attraction between two objects creates the gravity, or it's a mutual. We all have our own gravity. And again, yeah, you do. You have a very, very nice gravity.
Tobalt said that gravity is not real.
Well, again, gravity. People think gravity is a force, and I think it's just basically part of nature itself. It's our, how'd you say? It's as we were driving in a car, you don't feel you're doing anything until you stop, but we do feel it.
Yeah.
And right now, where you're sitting, you feel the force down. You feel the weight of yourself on the earth, and that is basically our moving through time, our moving through the universe itself. I said that's my
well, if gravity wasn't real, then when we do those things, those vomit planes, whatever they're called, where they go way up and they come back down, and you become weightless, doesn't that just prove that gravity is real?
And the thing is that the weightless feeling, you're still falling, and that's the whole idea. And the people that are people in space, when they're weightless, they're continually falling, and that's the whole idea. When the International Space Station is spinning around the Earth, it's what it's really doing. It's falling all the time. It's not. Orbit is a controlled fall. It's always falling, and you're basically like suspended in air because you're just like falling all the time. It's just very, very odd feeling.
Yeah, I think it'd be really cool to find out what that feels like, to feel like a helium balloon, you know. I saw a cute video. It was some teenage kids showing something about how helium is lighter than air, and they blew up a blow-up doll. They filled her up with helium, and they let her go into the atmosphere, and then they followed it around until it finally, I guess the molecules inside end up becoming weak or whatever, and it ends up collapsing, and she came back to the planet Earth.
Yeah, well, if you fill up a blow-up doll or a balloon with helium in it and air, the one with helium will decrease faster because helium is smaller, and it'll actually dissipate through the balloon. I guess unless it's a very specialized helium balloon that will take it, but all helium balloons will diffuse because it permeates through it.
Yeah, because they're porous. Yes. You know, it slowly leaks. It'll leak out of the thin membrane that's holding it. That's why a lot of people are also saying things about the very first astronaut that supposedly left the space station and used the jetpack and flew around with no tether, that they were shocked that how did that thin suit protect him from imploding or exploding or whatever, and from the freezing cold air out there, that kind of stuff. So I don't know enough about the technology of how they make these suits and the special stuff to be able to, answer them. So I can't make, I don't say anything. I try not to say anything if I don't really know what I'm talking about, because I already look really bad when I talk about things I don't know about. It makes you look really stupid when you open your mouth and you admit, hey, look how stupid I am.
Yeah.
So I just try not to comment on something I don't know about, but to me, it's very interesting. I love watching it and learning as much about it as I can, even though I wish I could retain, and then I put this blonde wig on and it makes me even that much not smart. So it's hilarious. But I just love listening to really smart people, sitting and just listening to them explain things, because it's just, to me, I'm in awe of people that are so smart they can retain so much information, and actual information that means something, and that it actually can help the planet, basically, because they know so much stuff about how to run certain equipment, or how to log this many trees to get enough wood to build this many houses. All those different
Mhm.
scenarios. To me, it's phenomenal that somebody is that smart. Because I can crochet, and I can raise chickens, and I can, mow, and, do laundry and iron clothes. And, I can do a lot of things, put makeup on, make a few videos and things like that. But when
Make
it comes,
amazing videos.
well, I know, but that's fun. But I just don't think I could come to do some of these things that some of these other people do. Even if I sat and studied for 5 years, I don't think I'd be even a third as smart as some of these people.
Well, ironically, you said 5 years, and that's basically the whole, like, the argument: 5 years, 10,000 hours to master something. So if you apply yourself, you can do anything. And that's the whole idea. I've always said that people can be geniuses. They just have to apply themselves, but we're distracted by life. It's on purpose. So you break through the distractions. You do anything you want. That's what I'm doing.
I just found out that there was a guy that got killed last year that he had a water-powered car, and then there was a mass shooting in Buffalo, and he ended up dying in that.
Mm-hmm.
I did not realize that there was a second one that happened. That really makes me upset.
Well,
Huh. Yeah.
I don't know what to say about that.
No, about what I just discussed there. Or,
Yeah.
I just
big oil.
the big oil, big fucking big automotive. Either of those two would have been more than happy to not have to deal with a cheap alternative that would be efficient to get you to and from your home. We're not talking about free energy. We're just talking about, like, just pour this bottle of water in your tank and it'll be fine.
Right. But again, you can get free energy. They've tested Tesla's idea, the Tesla coil. You put it in the ground, you create it, and it can generate energy.
Mhm.
So you can do this already.
Yeah.
It's a question of just basically, people are distracted by whatever the TV show or whatever they're doing now, I don't know, whatever normal people do. I don't know what they do. I just don't
If
do
I
it.
had the land,
I don't do normal stuff.
What if you
I
could
can
get,
get free energy at my house. All I gotta do, I've got power lines over there. I can just go bury some wire in the ground and draw off of that. No one would ever know. Well, they'd find me eventually, but
well, what if you could get a group of people? If all of this stuff is true, why isn't there a big group of people, these people that want to do these communes and stuff, that think everybody should have free love and free everything? Why don't they build a place where they use all this technology, solar power, and hydrogen, whatever, all the different stuff, build their whole place, build houses and everything with the environment friendly stuff, and run a whole community and get people to come and pay, and get jobs or whatever to work there and live there. If it's real, why haven't they done that yet?
They may have.
Done
They may
anything?
have. I'm actually looking for a place like that, or going to create one like that. That's what I'm basically doing with my life. Because I basically say that, because again, you've seen it where they do terrariums where they actually have a glass vase, and they put dirt, plants in there, and animals, and they seal it up. Seal it. No oxygen. Nothing comes in. Nothing comes
and
out.
then it rains in there and everything. Yeah, I've seen those.
It happens.
We
So
did
then why can't we do that on a large scale? Because I want to look at that. And I've seen it. I've looked into, gravity batteries, looked into electromagnetism, all this other stuff. So I want to do that. That's why my next future holds that. Because again, I don't want to live off the grid. I want to be nice and just have, again, chickens and eggs and, stuff like that. And just be a part of an area where I can just relax and do the things I love doing.
Well, see, there's got to be other people that are just
Yes,
like
I'm
that
looking
around
around.
the world that want to all get together and then find a place. People don't realize you can drive for hours and not see one house. Okay, in the United States, you can't do that so much in England and other places, but you can drive for hours and hours and not see one house. Okay, in the United States, in different states, find a place out there and start building. Start getting your people together and start building your community that way, and more people would want to come and join you if if it's a self-efficient, environmentally friendly, in all the different things, and how you can take care of yourselves without having to have all this other technology, people would be coming in droves, I think, if it was.
Yeah, that's what I want to
possible.
try and do, because I have a place that I'm planning on going for more healing, because I'm still sick, not feeling well, but I'm hanging in there. I'm doing well, but I'm looking around, and I want to find my new future, because I don't know what it is. Because again, when I was a little kid, my dream was music in Chicago, because that's what I knew. And then that dream died, recently, with everything that's been going on since 2020. So I'm not trying to find a new dream. I've been dreaming about this whole idea of going somewhere where I can just be at peace with the land and tap into what these mysteries are. Because again, we're distracted by so many things, and again, right or wrong, these aliens exist or not, but energy is around us, and again, it's not the woo-woo stuff. We actually have energy around us. It's everywhere,
Mhm.
and I feel it all the time, and I'm letting let it flow through me. So that's what I want to do. I want to basically make a difference and just be at peace, and again, I envision myself a very different man, and I just need to do this now because it's my path. Because again, I want to basically do that, where I don't want to go to a store to buy food, because it's kind of life. Because what we do is we get up in the morning, we wake to an alarm clock. We're regimented. We've been forced this 40-hour work week doing these things, and no, we're not doing it. I want to do something different, where we can wake up the sun, sleep at night, see the stars, and then learn about how to take care of yourself and feed yourself naturally.
Mhm.
And it's a lot of good things. I don't want to derail you, Al, but that's what I typically see. It's important. What is it?
Here's what what he wrote. Go ahead and read it.
Ruben, people do not know what they do. If they would want to do it, at least like this.
They wouldn't want to live
And
like
then-
this.
Like this.
Where is it? Darn it, I lost the rest of it.
May I invite you for a Tamaxel soul search? And I mean it, Ruben.
Oh yeah,
Oh, there it is. Okay,
That's
I'm
fine.
sorry, I clicked on the wrong one.
I've done that before. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, we've done that. No. And Masters, are you in Mexico or no? ¿Tú hablas español? I know a little Spanish. I got to learn more Spanish. Well, that's what I'm finding. Because again, I don't know where I came from. My Haynes is my father's. He changed his name so many times. I don't know what my real last name would be and all that stuff. And I've been doing my research on ancestry, but it goes nowhere because it's like we don't know who we. I don't know who I am. But I know where I'm coming. I know where I'm from. I'm from everywhere. I did my DNA, and I'm like everybody. I'm actually what 37% Native American, or Indigenous American, if you want to call me. But it's weird. So I want to learn.
So did you did the DNA testing? Because I did it, and I did it with Heritage.
Oh, I did it with 23andMe.
I did. I know a lot of people that sent it with 23andMe, but I did it with Heritage, and I've almost up 6 to 7 generations on both sides of my parents, and it's amazing. I'm so many people. I'm finding out I've got so many hundreds and hundreds of third and fourth and fifth cousins and stuff that I'm finding out that that connect to my my family tree. It's just really, really amazing. How much.
Yeah, I don't have a connection like that. God. Yeah.
Well, the thing is that I've been trying to get my sisters involved, because I found out I was able to get on a couple websites and look, because of the stuff I found of the family members that rode over here, on ships and stuff, and into New York, and different relatives that came from Nova Scotia, and all, tons of different stuff. Finding what do you call those? Where you the censuses, different censuses with the different family members on it, and so it's just amazing. This information I've been finding out. I found out on my grandmother's side that one of her relatives was related to Pat Garrett, the one that shot Billy the Kid in the back. So,
Wait.
Things like that. It's very interesting.
Hey, Masters Manic Mexico, contact me on Twitter at Ruben Haynes. You find me there. I want to know more about this. I really do want to know more about where I am from. I don't have no idea. I don't. Again, I'm like I said, I grew up by myself. Theoretically, I had a family. It was just me, and my brothers and sisters, and my parents. We had one set of grandparents. That was it. The other one we didn't even know. Didn't talk to them. And then everybody's dead. And it's like I'm by myself now. I'm like, and it was so weird because my father would tell me like, take care of your mother, take care of your brothers and sisters, and he was the last one to die.
Oh, yeah. We lost our mom.
Yeah.
And we still have our dad. I mean, he's still doing really well. I mean,
And it's like,
doing pretty good.
who do I take care of now?
But
Still,
well, you have to take care of you, so
that's
that
what I'm doing. Yeah, because I want to live.
so that a little of you gets to live on, and that's what you said your goal was.
Yeah, I do want to live on, and yeah, I'll go wherever I need to go. So I don't know. I have nowhere to go. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm homeless tomorrow, basically.
Well, you better keep everybody. Keep me.
Yeah. I'm gonna try and do videos still, but I'm looking for a place, places to go.
Yeah,
so
you're just gonna have to stay in touch with everybody.
Yeah, I am.
Okay.
I am. Just
And
I just
the
want
main
to.
thing, Ruben, is that while you might have that status, I don't think you have a poisoned mind that would give up just because of just that simple change. You seem like the type of guy that you welcome a new environment.
I
And
have
know
to.
it sounds-
No, it's true because again, it's like like I said, my entire life was based upon one path, and that path just died. Very bittersweet. First, was my mother, and then and my wife, and then my father, and then everything else just collapsed, and that's all happened right up to 2020, and it was before everything went to shit. And then I was sick, and the doctors had me on these medications that didn't work, so I went through cannabis, and then I'm not doing that now, and now I'm just on the path of healing, and it's basically just what's next for me. So I'm basically fighting every day, and I want to live. I don't want to die anymore. Oh,
I don't want you to.
oh yeah. Oh, I didn't even read this. Yeah. Contact me Twitter at Ruben Haynes, or on YouTube Ruben Christopher Haynes. You put my name. You put my name on internet. I'm everywhere because again, I'm the John Hancock of the internet. No, I basically see the scene because starting tomorrow, my YouTube is going to be. Not my YouTube, Rumble will be all telling the whole truth. Just I'm done with all the crap because again, all these distractions are really bad. You can say with the whole alien thing, there's some truth to it, but they're trying to mislead and discredit everybody that's talking about it. And everything that we talk about now, even the whole idea, like when even before the commune movement was big, and or the resurgence of it now, they were poo-pooing homeschooling. Remember how they would make fun of homeschoolers, and then we found in 2020 what they're doing to kids, and now it's being more prevalently done. And they were trying to stop churches from doing these things. They're trying to control, and I'm done with the control. And the way they can't control me if they don't own me, and they don't own me. I'm going to be my own man.
Are you? So what you're going to do is you're going to do videos and post them up as your journey's unfolding, that type of thing.
Yeah.
I think it would be very good.
Yeah, I do 3 videos a day right now. I've been doing this now since April 28th, and I used to do this. I've been on YouTube now 15 years, starting in July. July 10th is the 15th really anniversary, and it was all about weight loss. And I still have my weight loss channel. I do that, and I've been doing very well there. And then I have my personal channel here, which is just me. But then Rumble is basically anything they can't see on YouTube, going to Rumble. So that's Rumble's way on exclusive. We're going to talk about everything, the whole, all the conspiracy theories that are conspiracy fact, and call everything out. So that's what I'm going to do. And Twitter, I got my Twitter account back too. Thanks, Elon. So I'm going to do more stuff there too.
Good. I mean, that's great. I think that's a great journey. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Bruce.
No. I'm looking very forward to this, Ruben. And I know this sounds bad, but I'm looking forward to your journey as it unfolds. And as you,
because I don't know what's happening. Again, there are sad times, and again, I'm putting aside my own desire, because it's like, but what's my desire? My desire would be to have a companion on the journey. That's my desire, but I need to be ready for that. So that's like I say, yeah, I need to be the best man I can be. And that's why I'm going
Right.
to battle this disease, kill it, or that's a bad word, love it, saying you're okay because it's autoimmune. So I'm
Smother it with a pillow if you must.
I'm kicking my own ass right now, basically, but I'm going to stop it. So this journey next is going to be big. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, because you've already come a long way.
Yeah.
On the whole thing with the weight loss and everything already, eating healthier and all that stuff. So
that was a direct correlation because again, what had happened is that I found out why I'm doing my own theory that my brain had an issue that caused all of the problems to happen, and I've been doing meditation, sound, all these different things to make it work. Boom, and then it clicked in February of this year. I had my last seizure April 16th of this year, and I haven't had one since. Sometimes I get weak and some feel good, but I'm here. I'm here to fight because again, there's too much to live for. There's too much to love, and that's the whole idea. You know, I'm not religious, but I am spiritual, and it's all about love. Love is the answer, and connection, and it's the energy around us, and we have to embrace that. You know.
Yes, I agree. Yeah.
And again, good people and good people like yourselves keep me going.
Well, I'm proud to call you my friend.
Thank you.
I'm
and
glad.
Of course, music. Right? That's what I love.
Yeah,
I'm all about music. That's my thing.
Yeah, music is important. It helps. To me, it is very important. I listen to music when I'm sad. I listen to music make me happy. I listen to music help me through, my workouts. It inspires me. I mean, I sometimes just walk around in my yard and listen to a beautiful song to just, take everything out, to clear my mind and help me just say, okay, you got to clear your mind, get all the bad negative stuff out and focus on what do you want to do tomorrow? How are you going to do it? Where are you going to start? And do that type of thing. And so it's basically the same type of thing. It's just different. My goals are different than yours, but we all need something, we all need, but see, to me, we all need each other. We all need friends. We all need someone to share our feelings with, to talk to, without feeling like we're going to be judged because of the way we think,
Yeah.
It was so funny as I was talking to Boosh before we started this, because I invited him to come and be on the show too if he wanted to come. And he was asking me if I believed this stuff that happened in Vegas. And I told him, yeah. I said, why wouldn't I believe it? I mean, if these people say what they saw, why would I doubt them? I don't know them. And if it crashed in their yard, so, until all the facts come out, I go, I believe what they say they saw. They know they saw something. I'm not 100% sure what it is they saw, but I believe they saw something. And I believe that it was something that it could be anything. We don't know, but I believe them. And he was laughing about how I believed it and he didn't. But see, I like that. I think it's good that I can be myself and talk to my friends about things and not feel like, if I'm afraid to tell them what I really think, because if I do, they're not going to want to be my friend. I don't want to be friends with people that feel that way about other people. And I like knowing that I'm accepted, even if I have a thought that's not so something that everyone would agree with. But and I want people to feel the same way about me, that they're able to feel like they can talk to me and trust me and know that I'm not going to judge them because they have a different thought process than I do.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not even, I don't think I'm that smart. I don't think I'm I don't put myself above other people. And I don't think I'm better than people. And I try to live my life like that. And I try to be accepting as much as possible, because I just think that's what we're supposed to do as humans.
Yeah.
We're supposed to try to be as accepting as possible. But we have to remember there's limits, and that you should only take so much. If someone's proven to you over and over again that they're not a trustworthy person, then you need to step back away from that person and not invest any more time in them because they are draining you of time that's important to yourself that you could be helping someone else or helping yourself with. So basically, that's how I look at things.
There, I put my Twitter account at the bottom.
Okay. My electricity is out and my battery's dying.
Oh, I'm sorry, Sandy.
I know.
You don't have any of those little batteries that you have charged up and ready to go to plug it into?
I do. They're from DeWalt. They charge drills and stuff, but one of them has a plug-in thing that I can plug my phone and stuff in here, but I don't know where I put them.
Oh,
Because I rearranged everything. We put all Dad's stuff in the office, and now I don't know where I did with them.
Oh dear.
they're probably in the washroom. That's where I would put them.
Well, I don't have no closets in there.
Yeah, but you got cabinets up above the washroom.
Yeah, but I didn't put them up there. I have
Your
to
junk
find-
drawer?
Right now, I got candles going and the lantern that you pull up and the lights out. But,
Oh, the boots of strike then.
yeah.
Well,
But I'm gonna check out.
okay. Well, I love you.
I love you too. Bye,
Talk to you
Ruben.
later.
Bye, Bruce. I'll talk to you later, you guys.
Sandy, it was good having you on.
Thank
Bye,
you.
Sandy.
Bye.
Thanks.
You're welcome. You look beautiful, Janet. I forgot to
Oh,
tell you.
thanks.
I love you in green. You need to wear that more often.
Yeah, I look like I'm going to throw up any minute.
See you later. Bye. Bye, everybody in the chat.
Oh, Woke Breaker. Hello. Thank you for joining us. He said we sound a lot alike. Everybody says that. Just imagine being in a room with all four of my other sisters
Wait,
at the same time. So
That's kind of scary.
Let me do it that
Do
way.
what?
That's kind of scary thinking about that.
Yeah, one of my best friends, it was like, about 8 years ago, I invited her to come over because it was going to be her first Thanksgiving where she didn't have any family to hang with. So I invited her over to my sister's and I said, come over and we'll, we have drinks and we play cards. We do all kinds of stuff after we eat. She just stood around just staring. She didn't know what to do because everybody's just talking all the time and she's very quiet and stuff. And she was real overwhelmed. But she said she had a really good time. So everybody treated her really good and hugged her and stuff. But it's a little overwhelming for people who aren't used to it, because we all do talk all at the same time. It sometimes that's very annoying. But I don't mean to talk over people. It's just that, that's the way I grew up. We all just talk.
I gotta ask, Janet. Aside from the UFO stuff, is there anything else you want to talk about on the UFO side?
No, I can't think of anything else. There was a few other things that I printed out, but I can't remember that much about them anymore since we talked about so many other things. Is there anything you want to talk about when it comes to UFOs?
Ruben, I'll let Ruben go first before I bring up this one.
Okay.
Oh no, go ahead. Go ahead. Bring it up.
Earlier this week, and I know a lot of us don't watch Fox News, but
Who? Just kidding.
Fox News. Yeah, I know. The other CNN. They had a situation where for 38 seconds or something rather short like that, somebody puts up a crayon, basically a banner on the bottom, and it talks about wannabe dictator gloats over imprisoning political rival.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I sent that to you on Discord. Did you see it? The
I'm reading through
snapshot?
it now. Just 12 hours ago, The Guardian is the most recent story. They talk about how Alexander McCaskill left the network following the banner about Biden that reads, wannabe dictator speaks at the White House. And so they
Fired him because of it.
He resigns. He resigned. Didn't get fired.
Well, if you listen to Tucker, what Tucker talks about, they supposedly let him go right after that. The two ladies that run Fox. I was trying to find it. I took a picture.
I don't know if I would value anything that came out of Fox, but that story, it's quite humorous for me. I find the story really funny, and I probably should not And then whenever you couple it with Tucker's extended monologue for 14 minutes off of Twitter, his 4th episode, while him and Fox News are fencing over, like, if he's allowed to be on camera or not. It's just to me, it's a hilarious situation because he's going right out there and saying all the things a dictator would do. Then you have the Biden administration doing everything that he just rambled off, just off the cuff.
Mm-hmm.
He's a very good newscaster. I'm not a super fan of Tucker, but I really do value him whenever he gets on camera.
If I send you this picture, can you share it? Because I don't know how to do it yet.
Where's the picture
I'm sending it to you on Discord.
Okay.
So just 1 second. I gotta browse photos. I'm sorry, I can't talk and type at the same time. But I'm learning. I've come so far at at doing any of this stuff. But hold on 1 second. I gotta find it again. I'm just not very good at it. Darn it. I wish I was better at this.
Oh, you're fine.
Sorry. Oh, there it is. Okay. I'm going to send it to you right now.
And anybody here, please watch.
And then you can share it. That's a snapshot I took from the Tucker thing. It's just a snapshot, and it shows the bottom ticker, and then it has the blurry. They're kind of blurry, but you can still see what they are. A picture of Biden on this side, and then Trump on the other.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's exactly, because I think I sent it to you on Discord because I was like, holy crap, this guy is. I just can't believe the state our country is in right now. It's just amazing. Oh, hi, Elizabeth. Thank you for showing up.
Elizabeth.
Let me know when you can see it, because I just presented it. You have to go click on the bottom row where I just added the new picture stream.
Put it in there. Did she leave? What if she left? Oh, she's here. She got power back.
Yeah, I got my power back on.
Okay.
Yay.
Yay.
Yeah.
Look, it's
Here we go.
Christopher Nolan's Inception. Just kidding. Never mind.
What are you guys talking about now? What is this?
This is the Fox News dust up that happened earlier this week. I won't say old, a man resigned from Fox News because he had this banner right here. Want to be dictator?
Oh yeah, the one that got told to leave. Yeah.
Yeah. Usually they wait 2 weeks. No, they told him pack your shit now and get out.
Want to be dictator.
Yeah. That's great.
That is awesome. That's true too.
It is truth.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Not sorry. Think he meant every word of that.
Mhm. I mean, I think Tucker's just gonna blow the doors off of things, with what he's doing.
He's doing a good job of pissing off Fox News right now. I love it.
I'm telling you, I'm loving his last speech. Was awesome. His last episode.
Mhm.
I loved it. Yeah, I thought Tucker's pretty awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Can handle a little bit more Tucker.
Yeah. You don't like him, Ruben?
No, I like him a lot.
Okay.
Tolbad has been playing some videos of Tucker, of his little rants that he's been giving on Twitter. Tolbad's been doing it on his channel. And I've been trying to go over and watch him, support him on that. But yeah, Tucker kicks butt. I mean, I don't agree with everything he says and everything he does, like I don't any of these news people. But the fact that he's got the balls to say some of the stuff, like what he did with that picture we just saw when he's talking about it, and how Fox News ran them out, didn't even give them, a notice or anything. They just told him to get out now, pack your stuff, and leave after he had that on there for 25 seconds. It was basically on air for 25 seconds.
It had all the liberals up and roar,
They were really ticked off about it because it's like, I don't know. I don't understand. I mean, when the first Antifa people came out and they were calling them Antifa, and I was like, Antifa's anti-fascists. Everything they do is fascism.
Yeah.
So the name doesn't fit what they do, but the people doing
That's
it
the
still
point.
think they're anti-fascist. That's what I don't understand. I mean, I'm not even smart. I'm not even a smart person, but that doesn't make any sense.
Shut up, Janet. Don't ever say that again.
Well, I mean, what I mean is I don't have a college degree in any of those things.
You don't need a
So,
college degree. That's the thing.
Yeah.
well, I'm just saying, I just
No,
don't
but
understand how they could say any of that stuff because it doesn't make any sense at all. I mean, doesn't anyone have common sense anymore?
Nope.
Apparently they don't. They got it from another planet.
Exactly.
I could leave and go back to my universe.
God.
That would be great, wouldn't it? I take people with me, when I'm ready to load up. You guys are ready.
And that's
Got
why I
my
want to
chick-
create
I
my
got
own
my little
little.
area over there.
Yes.
My chickens and some fresh water, and we can get going.
Oh yeah. That's why I was thinking about like Missouri or something. I don't know where I'm going to go. I was just trying
I
to think
mean,
of something.
there's some beautiful
Missouri is
states.
beautiful.
North Dakota,
Mhm.
South Dakota, Wyoming,
Dakota.
Utah,
I just love the South
Idaho.
Dakota.
All these states are just beautiful. I mean, they have
Yeah,
so much.
I want water. I want good land. I want to basically just have
Yeah,
something
these are
that's
all
quiet.
States
You need
have
to
so
go.
much beauty and so much wildlife and so much fresh air, and
Yeah, I miss seeing the stars.
away from the big cities. It's just
Yeah.
beautiful. They're all beautiful.
Yeah, they are.
Gorgeous. Yeah, we were lucky. We got to take a trip with our mother and take her to see Mount Rushmore.
Oh my
And
God.
my mom wanted to stop at every little hole in the wall casino on the way. So every single, I don't care if it had 2 slot
Every
machines.
200
We
miles.
made us stop.
Stop.
So we
Funny.
were stopping. It took forever, but it was worth it because it was before our
It
mom.
was. To see her face when she saw Mount Rushmore was worth it.
Oh, it was breathtaking. But it was a wonderful trip, and I'll never forget it. Thank you, Sandy, for us getting to do that. That was
Welcome.
That was
My
wonderful.
pleasure. Yep.
It was beautiful. Because Sandy was the chauffeur most of the drive.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, my mother was very sick, and before she passed away, I went down there and stayed down there about a month, taking care. Well, not helping my dad out, and then at nighttime, my mother would want me to read to her, so I'd read my poetry to her for like
Aw.
hours.
That's awesome. That's wonderful.
It's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the thing is that she didn't like. Well, no, I used to play like the songs that she would hear when she was a teenager, but she didn't like that. It was more of a bad memory because she couldn't do the things she wanted to do, and she was, like I said, that's why I stopped that and just read my books, my stuff to her. I just love her. I love her. What is it? Her reaction when she was laying there like in pain, and then she would finish. She'd go, "Wow."
Oh.
But it's just fun. It's just I'm glad you had that journey, that experience. You'll never forget it.
I got to do a lot with my mom, more than I got
That's
to
the thing.
do.
I tell people, if you don't have a lot of money, but you want to do something, a special trip, because you know that this might be the last time, like going to a Final Four basketball game or a football game that you've always wanted to go to with your dad or your uncle or your grandpa or something, and it's going to cost a lot of money, and it takes you a whole year to save the money. It's worth it, because when you die, you only take your memories. You only take what's in here.
Yeah.
And in here with you. That's it. You don't take all these things that you have around you. None of this goes with you. It's just this. It's just your heart. It's in your things you experienced in your life. That's all you get to take. And so fill that bag up. It's my bag of holding. I was talking about this morning on a space about, they were talking about, this one guy said that somebody the young kids put so much in their backpack and they weigh themselves down with so much that they're trying to get up the hill of life, and they're dragging this heavy backpack with them. And I was like, well, I've been working on myself, when I first started all this Janet from Another Planet stuff, to try to help myself stay me in here through different things I was going through in my life. And I started thinking, once I started playing Dungeons and Dragons, I started thinking about, instead of a backpack weighing down things, I have a bag of holding. So I can put a whole bunches of stuff in it. And even though it's full, I mean, when I open and pull it out, piano and this and that and all this stuff, it doesn't feel like it's that heavy anymore, because it can tie it on my waist, on my belt, and it's light, but I can still carry everything I need that's so important in that little bag, and be able to pull it out whenever I need it. And that's what I try to look at it that way. And that it helps me to know that, it's within an arm's reach. I can open it and pull out the things that I have to have at that moment to help me get through that. And music's one of them. That's what I was going to tell you.
Mm-hmm.
Is that, you have a good playlist, and I'll be just walking through the store or something, and I hear in the background a song, and I'm like, oh, I got to remember that. And I'll type it on my notes on my phone, and then I'll add it to my music list. And I'm like, one of the songs I added, and people laugh at me, it's called Planet of the Ant-Man. I haven't heard that in a while, and I was like, oh, I love this song. It makes me feel happy inside when I listen to it. So
yeah, my Spotify list is more my Spotify is the one thing I'd listen to most of the time. I have stuff, CDs and stuff, but I can't play them right now because my player, I just get a new player, or a new way of playing the stuff. But yeah, I'm building up my whole library again. But again, music's very important to me. I've been sharing some music with people, so it's important. It's a connection. So, but again, I haven't shared my music yet. The ones that I like, and the things I've written, and I have to rewrite stuff down. I have lots of music. After I've written down, I have to rewrite them, or sorry, write them out. I have the tunes in my head. Just gonna write them all out.
Well, do you have any friends that are music makers?
There's nobody. I don't have anybody.
Well, on your journey, you just need to start.
That's what I'm saying. I gotta. Yeah, because my best friend's gone too. So she was the last person I was, in contact with. But then that was all in 2019. And it's funny that I had 2 concerts with her. I took her to one concert of my favorite piece, and then she took me to her favorite piece. So it was interesting. Her favorite piece is Nutcracker. So December of 2019 was their last concert, and that was it. The end.
Cool. 2019. Wow.
I know it seems that long. It seems long ago, but not long ago.
Yeah, that's not long ago, but yeah, it does seem like it's long ago.
Yeah.
Wow.
It frustrates me a lot as to how much everything has been destroyed since then.
But that's what I'm saying. I consider destruction like a shell of an egg. It's time to make an omelet. You create your new future from the chaos. That's what I'm doing.
I see value in that statement. I value what you said there. But I'm still angry and pissed that the future I had in 2019 got scrapped because this entire world said, nah, we're going to let the guys that they've lost 26 games out of 27 seasons, or 26 seasons out of 27 seasons. We're going to let those guys that are perpetual losers, we're going to let them make the rules. And I can't affect that. I mean, I could. I'd get famous real quick, but I don't want that. But I'm so frustrated because I was doing great. I moved to Texas. My life was good. The oil field was nice to me. I could get hired at any place I wanted to. And things have kind of gone for the stupid. And I inquired earlier today with an old company that I knew. And their entire method of hiring people has gotten like from common sense to absolute idiocy. Used to be you could just walk in, say I have a CDL, here's my medical card, and you have a job. You know, you show up at this time, or fuck, where's your bag? Oh, it's in the car. Great, you're getting in a truck and going to Midland right now, son. And that was how it was. But now they have like they're doing this company's doing an ESG audit for before you get signed up with them. And only for the NDA I signed in 2019. I can't talk about this for another year, but you betcha I'm going to do that next year whenever that thing expires, because that company deserves to fail.
I'll never sign an NDA. And if I do, I'll break it all the time because I don't care. You can't take anything from me. You can't take anything from me. I have nothing. What do I have? I have nothing. I do have nothing. That's what I'm saying. They took everything, so they can't take anything more. So when I rise up, I'll rise back stronger.
Awesome.
I like
That's
that idea a lot.
Yep.
Well, yeah, but a
that-
lot of people do fall for that, though. They're afraid, you know.
Yeah. Don't be afraid. They will fear me. That's the point. Yeah, because I basically will say no. No, I'm serious. I mean, I will say no. And it's funny. I'm rewatching the original Star Trek.
Mhm.
And there was one episode where Kirk says no to some robots, and robots are going, "What's going on here? What do you mean? Everyone says yes. Why are you saying no?" It's like non-compliance. They couldn't figure out why you're not complying because everyone complied. And I went, okay, and it sounds a little familiar here. And my God, those show with all the women and the beautiful women and the way they were dressed, the way they looked, the way they presented themselves.
Was that the one with the women robot women? Wives?
No, this is the one where it was Landau, the computer was running everything.
The ultimate computer.
Yeah,
Okay.
and then they were come. You will come with us. No, and I went, what? Like, why not? And then Spock says, well, they don't. If you don't comply, they get confused. They could never ever had before. And I went, okay, well that sounds right.
So it ruined the whole system simply because he didn't want to go along with to get along.
And then basically saying what you're doing, you're taking free will away from people. People can't be individuals. So like going, wow, where have we heard this before?
Mhm. Well,
And
basically, it's the same thing. Human will, since the beginning of time, just from watching what happened with Cain and Abel, the fact that one was going to have something the other one wasn't, he couldn't take it. He couldn't
Right.
deal with it. The fact that somebody was going to have more than him, and he didn't. The greed would just he became overcome with greed.
Yeah.
So, since the beginning of
Yes,
time, that's been the same thing. It's human, our faults are that we become greedy. And the only way for us to overcome those things is to work on ourselves on a daily basis. No one's perfect. You're going to make
Sure.
mistakes. You're going to say things. You're going to drop something on your toe and you're going to say, oh, fuck, you're going to do stuff. It just happens.
Right.
But that doesn't mean that it's over, that we every minute of every day is another chance for us to make ourselves a little better than we were 5 minutes ago, that type of thing. And even when you don't feel good and you're sick and you're tired and you don't want to get up, or your back hurts or your knee hurts or anything, you just have to say, like this morning, I didn't want to go work out this morning. I just, my allergies are so bad. My eyes are watery. And I was like, I've got to go. I've got so much to do this weekend and I can't do it tomorrow. So I need to do it today. And I finally went and man, it was tough. I didn't think I was even going to make it through my whole routine. I was just so tired because I didn't sleep well. And when you're stuffed up, you're gasping for air and you feel like you're going to hyperventilate. It's terrible. But I did it anyways. I made it through it and I got home and I finished laundry and, mopped my room. I started doing all kinds of stuff, but I was able to do it. I fulfilled what I needed to get done because I just kept telling myself, you have to, and, like the little engine that could, or whatever. That
Right.
story from Major Payne, and he's,
Oh, yeah.
Major pain, yeah.
can't think I can, because Charlie was coming after him. If you remember, it was really funny. Remember that one?
That is a very cute movie.
I
loved it.
love
That
that
was
movie.
funny.
He was really funny. My mom made us go see it 3 times in one day. The
Oh, wow.
matinee. So she loved that movie. She loved
Until she
Damon
saw him
Wayans.
live, right, Janet?
Huh?
Then when she
Oh,
saw him
that's right.
live,
My mom was like, I love Damon Wayans, and he's gonna be in Shreveport on this day, and I want to go see him. And I was like, what do you mean see him? She goes, he's gonna do stand up. And I went, Mom, you don't want to go see Damon Wayans do stand up. She goes, yeah, I do. He's funny on My Wife and Kids, that TV show.
Oh,
So
no.
I was like, all right, Mom, I'll take you. So her and her best friend, we went down to up to Shreveport, and we went there. We had our tickets. We go in and we sit down, and I'm like, I'm just waiting for. I wish I had a camera back then, with me, but I didn't. But we're sitting there, and then all of a sudden, his son comes out and opens for him, and she's like, "Oh, he's filthy. He's filthy." And I go, "Just wait till Damon Wayans gets up there." And the whole time, my mom's got her fingers in her ears going, la, 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 making, because she couldn't take the fact of every other word's the F word and MFing and, all the dirty stuff. And she just couldn't believe it. And her best friend would just laugh her butt off at my mom, my mom's reaction to it. But I tried to explain to my mom, stand up is not the same thing. It's watching it on TV.
No.
But she had never seen a stand-up routine. But then after that, it got her broke in. I got to take her to see Rodney Carrington. You guys know who that is?
Yeah.
And he sings that song.
God.
I got a 12-inch dick and a dozen roses. He's
truck.
just hilarious. And I took my mom to see him, and she loved it. She thought he was great. But he sang, he sang country western while he was cussing and stuff. So I guess that made it a little easier for my mom. Don't look now. Mama's got her boobs out. I mean, he had all those hilarious songs. I had so much fun with my mom. I was so lucky to get to go do that with her. But I had a great mom.
Drink some tea. Drink some tea.
Good.
Go ahead, Bruce. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
I'm done.
Okay, Ruben, go ahead.
Oh, it's fine. I was making Sandy get some tea. I
Uh,
don't like your cough.
fair enough.
I know. I'm sorry.
I really enjoy Rodney Carrington live. Did he have a young lady come out of the crowd and sit on him while he sang her the song of Carlos, the Mystery Man of Love?
I don't remember. I was so busy laughing at my mom, enjoying the show so much. I don't remember exactly. I mean, I took her to see him 3 times, so I'm sure he did at least one of them. And he did the thing, show them to me, and everybody was lifting up their shirt and, flashing their boobs and all that stuff. He's hilarious. I mean, does he still do that? Does he still travel?
To my knowledge, I don't think that ever is going to leave his concerts. It's a free way for you to go.
He was a
If you've
hoot.
got a young son, take your child to go see Rodney Carrington. That way your son can have baby's first boob exposure.
Yeah, and go see Ron White. He's hilarious too. I've seen all those guys. All the blue collar comedy tour guys. Larry the Cable Guy. Ben Inball. I saw them all. I took my mom to see everyone.
The one of those guys quit, didn't he? Here's your sign. That guy.
That's Bill Inball. I don't know. I got to see him in concert. I don't know if he still does.
Yeah. Bill Inball. He's the one that does the Here's Your Sign. Yeah.
Yeah.
He retired, I thought.
Well, I think they've all retired once or twice. But they are so funny. I mean, they really are. If you like good down home, country type comedic stuff. Now, Ron White, his is different. He's more of a city-fied kind of guy compared to the rest of them, but he's funny as heck. I mean, he is so funny. He'll hold tater tot thing when he's talking about tater tot and all that stuff. He's just funny. I mean, it's definitely worth every dime. And then I also got to go see Rodney Dangerfield before he died.
Oh.
Yeah.
And he was filthy dirty.
And I got to see Andrew Dice when I was in Dallas.
I didn't see Andrew Dice Clay. I didn't get to see him.
Oh, he was funny.
But yeah.
I saw Bob Hope.
Oh,
God, I would
wow. My
love to
mom
see
would have
that.
loved to see him.
Well, my dad was a Navy, so he was playing one of the shows, and I was with my father, and it was just like hilarious seeing him there. I was like, wow, just like that's classic right there. It's just like real. I don't know, not. I don't know. It was just something different. But I've seen all of them. I remember Carson, and then who was it? Don
Yeah.
Rickles, another one. God, another great.
Don
Jeez.
Rickles, yeah.
Lot of
Don
crazy
Rickles. Yeah, he was funny. Yeah, I grew up watching my mom watch some of like the Carol Burnett show and the Johnny Carson show at night. Trying to remember some of the other ones, but I remember I was in the process of moving to Arizona, and I took some tapes to my mom, and I asked my mom, please record this show. It's called In Living Color, and I said I'm gonna miss it this for 2 weeks because of my traveling and stuff, and I asked her to record it, and then when I got to come back. That I would get the tape from her so I wouldn't miss my shows, because back then there wasn't DVR and stuff like that, right?
Right.
Well, when I came back to get those tapes, my mom was like, "I love this show. I love Tooth." She loved the different characters. Jamie Foxx would play LaWanda, the woman that looks like this, and she'd say, "Oh, she was just funny." I came in. She goes, she goes, "I look Puerto Rican." He goes, "I look Puerto Rican with this hair," or something like that. You remember that, Sandy?
Yep.
What I'm talking about?
I
He
look
was just,
Puerto Rican with this hair. Yep.
yeah, he was just so funny, and with so much talent, because it had Jim Carrey on that show, and all the Wayans brothers were on there, and that's when Jim Carrey did like what was that guy, the Fire Marshal Bill? Yeah, Fire Marshal Bill, and all that. And then it was Homie the Clown. Homie, don't play that. Just and Handicap Man. All that. I mean, stuff you can't see on TV today. They'd crucify you because you can't make fun of people anymore. And they were great. That was very talented. That was a very talented show. But I missed it. But my mom loved it. She just said she couldn't believe how funny the show was. She didn't think I'd like it, because she said, I don't want to have to watch it because I can only record one other channel, while she said something. She could record 2 shows at once.
Oh my God.
I
remember that stuff.
She was so excited about it when she got to where she liked it. But yeah, there used to be some really good shows. It was like Married with Children were on TV, and Mad TV was on. I mean, it had a lot of good stuff. They can't make anything like that anymore, at least I don't think so. I mean, without getting ostracized.
That's why there's Rumble. Just kidding.
Yeah. Get in trouble for all the stuff that you talk about, because you can't make fun of anyone anymore. Unless, you're a white man. Pretty much that's it.
Yeah, he's a white guy.
You can't only make fun of white guys. That's it.
Oh my.
Nobody else. Because it might hurt someone's feelings. But, well, I feel like I'm getting so stuffed up. I'm going to have to.
Yeah.
I'm getting more stuffed up.
You both have, when you have a cough, you have a stuffy nose. What's going on here?
Well, I have allergies really bad.
I have asthma.
Oh, no.
I did my inhaler, and it just makes me cough, but it didn't down after a while. Yeah, it sucks.
Yeah, I do allergy shots every week, and poor Bruce, he has to listen to me. It's like clockwork.
By the time,
As soon as my medicine starts to wear off after 12 hours, he's like, "Yeah, Janet's nose is getting stuffed up."
by the time we get to about 10 o'clock, Janet's beeper starts to go off, and she starts sounding more and more like this, and it get bad, and it's like there's a cat in the house.
Oh, I know it. I'm allergic to cats too.
She just gets to be a mess, and I'm
Yeah.
just telling you, for anybody that gets the blessing of having Janet on your channel, about this time right now is when she needs to be like hitting that 3rd or 4th bottle of her medications to slam down a nice little drink of something, and then just slime it and go get horizontal and let it all go away. So tomorrow she can start it back up again. Probably at 4:30. She gets up before the Amish.
Yeah, I get up at 4:30 because of my
She
rooster.
doesn't sleep. She sleeps like a sleep peck here and a sleep
You
peck
can't
there.
say that. I've gotten on Twitter and seen you posting stuff at 3:00 in the morning.
'Cause I have
So,
to go pee, but I go right
well,
home to bed.
you,
Stay up.
if you're awake, that means you don't sleep either, right?
Well, I need to sleep. That's the thing.
But thank you everyone for joining us tonight. It was fun. I enjoyed it. It was very informative when it comes to aliens, I think.
Oh, yeah.
Masters Maniac Mexico. You asked earlier about these miniatures. About 2015 to 2018, I bought almost all of what you got here. I was in the oil field and I'm like, I can't have the time for it now, but I'm going to learn whenever I get out of the oil field, I'll start doing this.
Cool.
And I started to learn how to paint. I've got Janet has become susceptible to a lot of the miniatures that are in the front room because they make appearance every other Saturday on our channel.
Mhm.
And she's one of the players, one of the heroes, and thankfully she's playing the cleric, which is the typical healer type or support type, and she has no problem making sure the team is functional. I absolutely adore how Janet has acclimated herself to the game. She doesn't know all the rules yet. She still has trouble with the dice, but she wants the party to win. She wants to be part of the team, and she goes above and beyond in that effort. So
That's my
Thank you,
sister.
Bruce. That's so sweet. I just love playing. It's so much fun. I really do love it. It's fun. I really enjoy using my imagination and thinking about us really trekking through, territory that's infested with all kinds of creatures that can kill us at any second, or demons,
Nice.
or vampire bats, or whatever it is, worms that come up out of the ground and eat you. It's great. I love it. I'm so thankful that you added me to your game.
Yeah.
once I
she's
started
fine.
showing off your videos to some friends of mine, I'm like, I think this lady would want to join us. And a friend of mine says, why have you not invited her yet? I said, because before I do, we've got 6 people in the party. That's a big party for some groups. I'm
Mhm.
used to running 6 to 8. And she'd make a solid 7th person. And then we added another and another. And it just, we're at 9 people now.
Yeah.
So I'm all right with that.
And there's another lady too.
Yeah.
She kicks butt. She fights with a hammer.
That's Helga.
Yeah. Her name's Mindy, Sandy. Her
Really?
name's Mindy. Yeah. Isn't that neat?
Cool. Yeah, that's neat.
Because that's my daughter, one of my daughter's names.
Oh,
Aw.
Did she give you your keys today?
Yes, she did.
All right, now. Don't
Thank
be
you.
bitching about having no keys now.
I got to put them on my keychain. I haven't taken them out of the bag yet.
Okay.
But thank you for
Knowing
the
you'll be going, I don't know what happened to my keys, and run all over the house and they're around your neck. That's you.
Yeah, that's me for sure.
Masters Maniac Mexico, you're welcome. I just saw the comment earlier, and I have to jump in and talk when I can. But if you're serious about helping Mr. Rubin out, that would be fantastic.
That would be fantastic.
I've been praying for the guy, not diligently on a daily basis, and forgive me,
oh,
Rubin.
it's fine. No, it's fine. It
But
just
no, I
it is
mean,
what it is. What it is. It is what it is. Again, I don't know why I got this disease. It's very rare, and they actually wanted to rip up my thymus gland. They wanted to do
No.
They wanted I said no. They wanted to do
Exactly.
surgery on my neck, on my spine, on my. And they said, "Oh, let's do this. Let's take it out." No. So because I rejected medical care that they wanted, I can't get medical care for that. So they did cannabis, but then now I don't have fun. I lost my job, and now I'm looking for work, and now I'm trying to do whatever I'm trying to do, and then now I'll be homeless tomorrow, and I'm trying to. It's basically now going. Where do I go now? I have nowhere to go. I really don't. I'm going to be in my car, and I donated everything. I donated I donated 3 computers, my iPhone, my iPad, my desk, my monitor. I only have the 2 computers left. But some people only have 1, but that's it. And then I'm just like saying, okay, what's next for me? So I'm just praying, and what's next? Where do I go? And again, there's no one to go to. There's no family. There's nobody. So it's like I'm by myself. So I'm just going to create my own future. I don't know where I'm going. We'll see.
With
Well, I
the
hope-
disease
I just say I hope that it's a good journey.
Yeah, we'll
Happy
see.
journey.
We'll see what happens. I don't know.
Sorry, Bruce. I didn't mean to interrupt.
No.
You're fine, sweetie.
I don't know.
Really. Ruben, with your current medical condition, would you be able to pass a test to get a medical card for CDL?
I don't know. Well, I'm off cannabis now. I've been off now for a while, so I don't know. But I don't know. I really don't know. So I'm just gonna forge my path. I'm gonna figure it out and see what happens. Ow.
I know that this is not the ideal situation, but I know a lot of drivers, and they are not the peak specimens of physical fitness. So
Yeah, I'll entertain whatever. I don't, you know.
And if you could pass their test for the medical card, I'm pretty certain if you've got 2 working legs, you could get a job with Swift. Just remember, swing wide. It's a fucking trailer. That's all I ask.
Oh, okay. I hear you.
Swift would be where I would look at first because they will hire you. They will put you in a truck and you will drive from distribution centers to Walmarts. And
Gotcha,
that's what you'll learn.
Oh, cool.
You
Yeah, I'll
will-
look into that.
because you don't have to worry about a house. You've got everything you need within pretty much arm's reach. And then once you get your own truck after you've done your training and your team trucking for a while, you've got a nest egg saved up so you can afford your generator, your refrigerator. You can afford the things you want for your media suite.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a thought.
Yeah.
And you're not going to let grass grow under your feet when you're a trucker because you're only making money when you're pulling into docks. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
So you could possibly have that lifestyle to where you are searching for things. You're going to be strapped to that truck for a few months. You're going to be not wanting to take a lot of time off because they're giving you work. And when you first get into it, you're hungry. You're like, oh yeah, I'll go anywhere. And then your 10 hours are done. You pull over, you sleep, you relax, you do your exercises or whatever medications you've got. You get your rest in. You continue to eat well because the truck stops I'm seeing now, the Petros, the Loves, all these places believe in trying to feed the truckers things that are balanced and for like the main food groups.
Mm-hmm.
Salad, tomatoes, lettuces. You get all that now. And it's not like a situation like what it was 40, 50 years ago where it's just a greasy spoon. Here's your heart attack. No, it's not like that anymore. And if you want to eat like that, you can. There's plenty of dives on the side of the road that will take you.
Oh, yeah.
Go ahead, park it in the gravel.
Mm-hmm.
You'll be fine. But I'm telling you that if you could pass a medical test for CDL,
Yeah, we'll see. Because again, it's hard to walk, so we will see. But it was hard to walk. And again, spatial things get weird too. So I have to basically see if it happens. So we'll see. Yeah, I'll try. I'll see whatever I can do. You know,
at the very worst. I mean, I'd rather you either connect or swing and a miss. I don't.
That's true. That's true. That's true. No, I appreciate it. Thank you.
Well, just keep me apprised of what's going on.
Yeah.
Making your videos.
I'll still do videos.
That's important because that's your journal.
If they're it's my journal. So then if they're sporadic, they're sporadic. If they're on time, they're on time. But I'm looking around places here, farms and stuff like that. You know, just whatever. I don't know. I'm trying to figure it all out. We'll see.
And you will. You will.
Yeah.
Yep. This is what you want. I support it.
Thank you.
Yep. I'm here for you. You know where to reach me.
Oh yeah. Definitely. Thank you. I really appreciate it. Yeah. And I can pay you back with just beautiful music. So yeah.
Yes.
And then when you're ready to hear my music, oh God.
You sent me some. I loved it.
Well, that's I sent you what you liked. I didn't send you what I liked.
Oh,
it's different.
Okay.
There's a big
that
difference.
Is a difference, I guess.
Yeah, no, it's very different. You have to be again. I don't know. When I watch a movie, when I want to listen to music, it's what I do. It's not when I mean that if I put a movie on, I'm watching it. Everything else is off. I'm watching the movie.
Mhm.
If I listen to music, I'm listening to the music. It's not in the background. I hate the idea of music in the background. No, when you're playing music, listen to it. You're listening to the music, and your attention's on the music. So I remember my best friend when I went to see Joker. She wanted to go see Joker. You want to see Joker? What? And she did. She wouldn't stop fucking talking during the movie.
Don't go to the movies with me.
Don't go, Janet.
Don't go with
And I
Janet.
went,
Don't
and I
go
went,
with me.
this is, and I'm going, shh, 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 shh. I'm doing this. Shh, shh. It was so bad that the people next to us moved. And I went, they moved. I think they was talking too much. Yeah, you're talking a lot. So stop talking. But I didn't yell at her. I just said, shh. I went like this.
Well, I warn people beforehand. I'm like, well, I'm one of those people. So I'm just letting you know in advance. I'm going to
Janet,
talk a lot.
Janet. Well, then I have one thing to say to you, Janet. I didn't know you were black. Just kidding.
Watching
I
a
know.
movie with
That's the way
Janet.
it is. I can't help it. I talk through the whole
Watch
movie.
out. Watch out. Come on out the door.
Walk through the entire thing. Through the entire thing.
I know. I told you I'm not a fibber. I
No.
tell the truth. And I love it too. That's why I have to watch it more than once sometimes.
Yeah,
Because I
because she
miss 'em.
talks so much, she catches things. I didn't know that he said that in there. Yeah, that's when you were gabbing. That's what that line came.
Yeah,
from.
Sandy's
Oh,
gone with me many a time to the movies. So she knows what I'm talking about.
and the people behind her, is she gonna talk the whole time? I was like,
Yep.
yeah. She
Well, that's another reason why I like to go at different times, depending on not when it's not real busy, because I don't like to bother other people.
Oh, and there's one other thing I do when I play my music, or I play music. I never turn the volume lower than 10 all the way up. It's never lower than that. I don't know. I don't understand. What are you doing? Turn it up all the way up. No, like I do with what is it? My Siri, the speakers. Siri, turn it up. It'll be very loud. Yes, turn it up, dummy. Turn it up. I'm always on 10, and I do the same thing when I listen to music in the car. I turn it up all the way up and going. Now I can hear it. Sounds. And everyone in the car says, "Can you turn it down?" No, I'm turning it down. Listen to music.
Well, I just want to say thank you to everyone for
Yes.
joining us tonight.
Thank
It
you.
was wonderful. I had so much fun. And thank you to everyone on my panel, to Ruben and Bruce and Sandy. Thank you for joining me tonight.
Thank you for
And
having me.
everyone has a wonderful evening and a wonderful weekend. And we'll talk to you guys later.
Okay, goodbye, everybody.
Thank you for being here.
Don't leave. Don't leave.